Hey everybody, my name is Malik Foster and welcome to the Counterpoints podcast. I'm joined by my co-host here. You guys want to introduce yourselves?
Sure thing. I am your second co-host. My name is Samantha Adams.
And I'm third co-host, Everett Stevenson. And today we got an interesting topic for you guys. We wanted to talk about the Project 2025 agenda, and in particular, one of the clauses that looks to end the no-fault divorce. So generally, what's being proposed is there's a new law that they're looking to have potentially brought in which they would look to prevent people from having divorces and ending them for no fault reasons. Just generally meaning that we grew apart. There's no real um, reason that we want to give. We just decided that we just don't want to move forward with the marriage, and that would be pretty much how a no fault divorce works. So we wanted to go ahead and go into some more topics, and I don't know if anyone else wants to talk about that potential law as well. Get into more details, you guys can want to welcome to jump in.
Yeah. I was just gonna say, this is like the number one agenda on the list for conservatives to end no-fault divorce, which you pretty much define E is pretty much where people can end divorce for no reason. Pretty much, you don't have to give any reason that anybody committed any wrongdoing in the marriage. It could be a mutual agreement that you like to end the marriage. So that's really it, and that it's harming the country. That if people aren't getting married, it is a big issue. It does need to be tackled. So I do agree. I think everybody can agree, whether you're on the conservative side of the spectrum or the liberal side of the spectrum, that the divorce situation is an issue. The marriage or lack of marriage rates is an issue where people are not even getting married. Although the divorce rate is down a bit, it's not like 50% anymore. At least on the first marriages, your first marriage. You want to add anything, Sam?
Yeah, I think that, and we can dive into it. I don't like the government telling people what to do when it comes to whether or not they should be able to get married, who they should marry, if they get divorced, how they divorce. I don't like that. I feel like it's really not really anybody's business. Um, and so we'll dive deeper into that when we talk more about like its impact on society and things like that. But as it relates to Project 25, the Project 25 agenda has a lot of stuff in it. You'll probably hear us reference it again pretty soon because it's a 1,000-page document. And they're talking about gutting a whole bunch of things, including getting rid of the Department of Education, right along with a bunch of other things. But today, as we focus more so on no fault divorce is a catch all, right? And the purpose of it is that people get divorced for many, many reasons. And it's not always going to be, think about it. Think about it like this. It's more like an irreconcilable difference. It's not people's business. Everybody doesn't have to know whether or not you cheated on, whether or not you got money problems. Or, you know what I mean? Some things are. We all have a right to privacy, and some things are should be kept private. And so, a no fault divorce can just mean it might mean like, hey, things aren't working right now in our relationship. It's not one person's fault or another, but it's not working. And we have tried, right? Because that's another thing that I think gets missed. Like, you want to just get rid of that, but what about the people that have tried? What about the people that have gone to counseling? What about the people that have, tried to stick with it and fight through it, but it's just not working because people just no longer are compatible. That happens sometimes. You know what I'm saying? And because people grow and people change and things like that. And so if people are gonna grow and change and all that, like you gotta give people the leeway to be able to move around how they gotta move around. Do I think that the divorce rate is an issue? Yes. I don't think it should be as high as it is. I do think people should be fighting for their relationships harder, much harder than they actually do. But at the same time, I definitely think that I don't think that the government needs to be getting all involved in what people should and should not be able to do.
Well, to points that you were making, I understand that. True, Massachusetts, you know what I'm saying? Belief of, hey, we don't want, you know what I'm saying, infringement on our decision making. I feel you with that. And as far as like, the topic of no fault divorce and things of that nature, like we said, I definitely think that is one in which, to the point that you made, it was nice for people to be able to have that, hey, for whatever reasons that we want to say, without necessarily having it be a strict line of, hey, it has to be one of these three or four things that maybe will allow us to get out of the situation. We can just, mutually agree to walk away. That does save people, the embarrassment of necessarily having to have a messy situation publicly displayed. And so I think what ultimately like this law looks to do is to kind of keep people together to work through things, right? Like, because in a sense it's like, yeah, we can agree to disagree on things, but we can agree to disagree on things that might be like they say, a smaller thing, and it may not be small overall, but in the grand scheme of things, like where how maybe the institution of marriage was intended, it's not the till death do us part. It's not the da 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 da. Even though I understand that there's things that may occur where people might feel like they are dying inside if they're in abusive type of situations. However, I feel like, if that's not necessarily the case that you're dealing with, and there's things where people can work, that this is trying to say, like, listen, you need to work it out with who you need to work it out with. Like, if you chose to say, oh, y'all gonna be married, y'all gonna be married. We're not doing all of this, married, divorce, married, divorce, married, divorce type stuff. And I think that's interesting to see that, that now we're seeing society try to even take away certain things and kind of move more to a more stricter line of regulation towards marriage, and as we've seen it before, abortion and things of those things that are traditionally have been more personal decisions and not necessarily ones that were determined by the state or the government.
Right. I think we're seeing a little bit of a push for the no fault divorce to be removed because, on the conservative side of things, a lot of men feel like, marriage isn't really worth it when, a person can just breach a contract and have an easy out. Yeah, you could say men file divorce too, but if we look at the percentages, more women file, and usually men generally stay. Whether they're doing wrongdoings in the marriage or not, that's another issue. But we're just talking about the filings and who's leaving who and whatnot, right? So there should be some sort of consequences for breaching the contract. You shouldn't be able to just have it out just because I just don't like this person anymore. Like, I'm done. Like, what do you mean you don't like this person anymore? You decide to make that commitment. You decide to sign that marital agreement with them and have that contract. You just can't just walk out of a marriage because I can do better. So I agree, if somebody's doing some wrongdoing, you should be able to have an out. But the in and out of the marriages in today's society is a big issue, I think, because we want to keep families together and nobody wants to have a broken home. I see you, I see you shaking your head over this disagreement. Let me continue.
Yeah.
But I want to go in. Go ahead.
Let me continue to cut here because it's mainly about accountability and no fault divorce.
Go ahead, Chef.
People accountable, whether it's a man or a woman. But since women tend to be filing more, we have to look at that way. And I think it's being abused because the intention was, okay, maybe the argument will be like, oh, maybe there's something going on. People don't really want to disclose certain things. That was probably the rationale, the logic behind it. But we're seeing today people are abusing it. So I think we could still have a sort of a hybrid type of situation, but you just can't just be like, I think I can do better. I'm out, type of thing. So
But
you
I'm
need to have some sort of accountability.
Hold on, no, it's my turn, G. It's my turn.
Yeah, it's okay. It's
You're not
okay.
about to cut me up with this one. Listen to this.
You can
Yo.
clean up the grease of all
No,
that
no.
cooking you just did.
yes, chef.
All right,
Here
so
we go.
listen. No, he didn't cook. You want to know why? Because y'all sound like y'all like being.
Dishes feel like you was-
Listen. Let me finish. Because y'all sound like y'all like being miserable. That's what that sounds like. That sounds like misery loves company. Because if you are unhappy in your marriage, right? We're talking about marriage. If you're unhappy in your marriage, you both are suggesting that you sit in that misery, despite whatever things you try to do to fix that miserable space, right? You could go to counseling. You could try different things, go on vacation, whatever. Sometimes people just lose their ability to be compatible, like I said. And if they're no longer matching, right? All right, let's try it like this. Let me paint a picture. Let me get a little Esquire-ish for you real quick. All right. Let's just say you buy a pair of black jeans, right? You buy these black jeans, you like your black jeans, you wear them all the time, they're your favorite jeans, right? And the more you wear them, the more you wash them. And the more you wash them, the more they fade, right? And so then one day you go out and you buy yourself a black shirt. Black shirt's fire, and you know it's going to look good with these black jeans. But then you go ahead and you put that black shirt on with them black jeans. Now, let's just say one of y'all is the black jeans and the other one of y'all is the new shirt. And the color is your attitude or your perspective or your thoughts about life and the future or the things that you want out of life, or your drive and your ability to move forward and the things that you want to gain for your family and all of those things, or your ability to earn, things like that, right? One of them is faded because one of them can't go. They can't go. They don't want to do it no more. Maybe they don't fit. Maybe they're a little tight. Maybe they get a little scraggly, whatever, but they're not trying to do the things that they can do to improve themselves, such as maybe fix the hole that's in the side that don't look like it belong there, right? Maybe don't sew the hole that's in the pocket. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it is. And then you put the jeans up next to that new shirt because the other person has continued to grow. They have found new ways of thinking, new ways to drive their family forward, and all of those types of things. And you put them together and they look bad. They do not match. They cannot work together. Your outfit looks terrible. You outside looking crazy. Okay? So what do? You either match that thing, match them pants with something else, or that shirt with something else, or you get rid of the black jeans and go get something else. You see what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, now, not in any way, shape, form, or fashion am I comparing relationships to that, but I'm trying to illustrate a picture. You can't be out here looking crazy. You see what I'm saying? Things are not always going to be what you hope that they're going to be. You see what I mean? And because things are not always going to be what you hope that they're going to be, people are going to grow, and they're not always going to grow in the same directions. And that's okay. I think part of the problem is people think that it's not okay for two people to grow in two different directions. And some people don't grow and others do. And it's not always okay to be in a stagnant relationship because one person is not trying to move forward while the other one is. You're stunting the growth of that flower. You see what I mean? So at the end of the day, you should be able to say, all right, listen, I love and appreciate this person. We have a relationship. We had a relationship. In the time that we had it, it was a beautiful thing. At this point, it is no longer serving me, and it is no longer serving them, and we are no longer happy. And especially when there are children involved, when you have two parents, two grown people, and they have a child, and they are not happy, you better believe that child picks up on that unhappiness, on that misery. And so, yeah, is divorce hard for children? It is. But you know what's harder? Living in a house where your parents are unhappy. Now, here's the thing. Myself, Malik, E, none of us are married, so we can't tell people what to do, right? But we are all also, children of families that parents that have been divorced. You see what I'm saying? And so, with that being said, look at how we turned out. You see what I'm saying? Like, yeah, we might all have different perspectives. You guys may or may not necessarily agree with us, but guess what we did? We had a dream and we pushed forward regardless of whatever our circumstances are. It didn't stop us from being able to move forward and grow and become the people that we are today and to grow in our community and to be only a percentage of a 3% population of the world. So at the end of the day, I think that people have to remember, yes, marriage is incredibly, incredibly important when you're talking about unity within the community of Black folks, right? And how do we continue to grow stronger and all that other stuff? But people should not be forced to remain together just because they can't check a box when they want to get a divorce.
Okay.
Yeah. You want me to go, or you want to go
Yeah,
ahead?
absolutely. Because you started it, then she responded, and the next comes me real quick. So I'm gonna go ahead and clean up in here. You know what I'm saying? So yes, I agree with some of the things you're saying. Earlier. I like the whole Gene's interpretation, and quite frankly, I thought it was really on point for what we needed to discuss today. I like the analogy. But I also think that, this is where we find that individuals in style, where it comes in here. You know what I mean? Because some people might have those jeans and see them as ragged, like you said, got a hole in the side, but others will see it as art. It is, you know what I'm saying? It's ripped jeans a little bit. It's a little faded, but you know what I'm saying? That just means that it's worn. It's war torn. This ain't that flash fashion. This is something that's tried and true. Okay? It ain't been through the ringer a few times and still was there with you. And so I'm not telling you that, when you made the point of people might grow in different directions, and that, if you aren't able to accept the growth that another person has, to the point that you are hindering them from being able to reach their destiny in life, you know what I'm saying, that you should get out the way. Absolutely, I can understand that. But I think that the getting out the way is learning how to accept their calling, learning how to accept whatever it is that they may be doing, and learning to also be comfortable with where you are. And you guys work on that. That's the thing. I feel like everything doesn't necessarily have to go for everybody. Everybody don't have to like what the fuck everybody don't have to like what I got on, right? You feel me? But if I feel like that faded jean and that t-shirt go and I'm good, I'm okay, because it works for me and I feel comfortable, which allows me to go out and do the best that I can do. But to your point, I don't want to make it seem like I choose whatever and I be whatever and everybody just got to accept me, because that's not how I truly believe
about that's what you just said, though. But it's
not what I believe about life. No, what I'm saying here, and that's why I wanted to be clear, because I could understand how it can be a little, but I wanted to be clear about the difference is with this situation. You got somebody who said that they was going to come through. Like you said, the colors are fading a little bit, but that's okay though. That's when you getting into your gradients and your color schemes a little bit, and you throw that stuff on. You find a little accessory or two to throw on, maybe a scarf or something that you want to play with it, or a little color or something that you want to hit, some glasses maybe. However you want to style your stuff. Style your stuff though. Be you and work with what you came with, because that's all you really gonna have in this life. Everybody, especially in today's world, everybody's not jumping into situations and wanting to be committed to people and wanting to stand behind them, stand in front of their family and honor the things that they said and be about what they're supposed to be about. And so I feel like if you got somebody that's doing that, but you might not feel that things are going the way that you may want them to go, and in that moment, in that season, whatever it may be, you know what I'm saying? I don't think that the answer is just like go. I think that the answer is to try to work and continue to try to work on ways that y'all can do it. I'm not telling you.
What if it don't work though? That's my point. You got children, right? And you doing. Hold on. I'm posing a question. You're married, you have children, you are trying everything to make that thing work. You're taking vacations, you're trying to spend more time together. Maybe you're trying to spend more time apart so that you can have a break because maybe you spend too much time together. Whatever the thing is, you're going to therapy, individual counseling, you're going to family therapy, you're going to couples therapy, whatever it is. You're doing all of the things. You see what I'm saying? And it's still not working. How long you just gonna sit in that misery?
Well, let me respond real quick to your gene analogy that was so eloquently laid out. It's I think of it like this: you go buy some jeans, right, at a store, a department store. You go wear them, you spill some stuff on them, you play in them, you work in them, and now you want to return them back and get your full money back. After you use them back, rip them up. That's what a no-fault divorce is.
That's not what a no-fault divorce is.
What Sam
that is not it. That is not it.
Be able to do that with jeans, and that is not right.
I used to work
at a department store. Hold on, Sam. Let me cook. Let me cook your argument.
You cooking and you ain't. But all right, it's more like a microwave.
234.
We're talking about jeans here.
It's more like a microwave meal.
You want a full refund. A full refund. Mind you. There's no consequences. It was no defects, aka wrongdoings. It's just all you. You want a full refund. That is ridiculous. And that's why no-fault divorce has to have some sort of modification.
That's not no-fault divorce.
I agree.
Hold on. That's not no-fault divorce. You're looking at it like somebody actually does something, but then they don't have accountability, so they choose to leave. When in fact, no-fault divorce is saying, look, I'm not saying you did anything wrong. I'm not saying I did anything wrong. It's neither one of our fault as to why this thing isn't working. It's just not working anymore. And so, hold on, now it's my turn to cook now, right?
Your turn to cook.
It's my turn. It's definitely my turn. So here's the thing: if it's not my fault and it's not your fault, but it's still not working, then at some point you have to say, all right, we have tried everything that we can to make this thing work. It's not working. It's having not just a negative impact on me in the one and only life that I get to live and the one and only life that you get to live, but it's also having a negative impact on the children. You see what I'm saying? It's not because I did something wrong and I didn't go out and cheat. You didn't go out and cheat. We wasn't out here doing crazy stuff with the money. It wasn't any of that. Our chemistry is just not there anymore. It's not working. Guess what? Now, can you just continue to remain in the relationship and then hope that, things rekindle later? You sure can. But what happens if it doesn't? So you're sitting in misery for years? That's not fair to you. That's not fair to your children. That's not fair to society. Right?
But see, that's my point.
No, but hold on, because we're not talking about lack of accountability. We're talking about lack of fault. You see what I'm saying? And so if there's no fault, it's nobody's fault. It's not for somebody to say, well, I did this, I could have did that, I should have, would have, could have. It's not about that. It's about the fact that I tried. I did my best. It didn't work. You tried. You did your best. It didn't work. We are just no longer compatible.
But why'd you file? If there's no fault, why'd you file?
Because you're no longer compatible. It's nobody's fault. Like it's not a one-way street, Malik. Like,
but that's what I'm saying with the jeans. It's like the jeans are messed up. They don't fit. Maybe I got a little too big. I'm trying.
No, it's not. No, it's. But the thing about it is,
no longer fitting. The jeans don't want them. And so them. I can't wait.
Let's try it like this. Let's try it like this. He's the jeans. She's the shirt. Okay. He doesn't want to change. She does. Because she's grown, she's gotten some new, ideas about life. She's found, listen, just hear me out. Hear me out. She's got new ideas about life, new desires that she wants. She's tried to share those things so that they can be one outfit. Maybe she tried to accessorize them. Maybe she tried to patch the hole up in the jeans. Maybe she tried to mend the pocket. Maybe she tried to do all of those things to help him. But guess what?
Not that resourceful.
Use a lie, okay? Use a lie, okay? So that let's start there. And maybe she has done the things that she's had to do to help him come along with her, right? Because she's doing the things that she's supposed to, but it's still not working. The outfits still don't look right. Don't matter what you did to it, how many different ways you try to jazz it up, like E said. And it's not because you didn't spill Kool-Aid on the jeans and poke the hole with your pen. It ain't about none of that. It's about the fact that you tried to do all of the things that you could to make that thing work, and it ain't working. That's what it's about.
She get on, she leave you for what he say.
You want to make a comment on that, E? Or should
Absolutely, I do.
Okay,
absolutely,
go
I do. Malik, I want to tell you, you're wrong because you're talking about, oh, it's like it's an exchange, and when I exchange it, I get my money back. No, how about it's like it's an exchange, and we give you a gift card. You know what I'm saying? Bringing them back as well. So here go your money and a little gift card because
don't get money.
The person that you was wearing them with, let them give you a little alimony real quick. Let them give you a little something extra.
Oh my God, no!
You know what you came here with, and a little more. You know what I'm saying?
Everybody don't get alimony all the time. Let's just be clear. Okay, wait. Let's give y'all a little quick side legal tip.
So I was gonna say,
everybody, hold on for a second, E. Let's just give a little quick side.
I don't want to go there.
Everybody does not get alimony. Let's be clear, okay? So people get alimony based on a number of factors, including what you sacrificed in that marriage. Like, did you work? Did you not work? How long were y'all married? If you did work, how much did you make? How much did you contribute? How much did he contribute? Was he the breadwinner? Was she the breadwinner? Who was carrying everything? And then that also varies from state to state. So everybody don't get alimony. So let's just be clear.
Yeah, I was just trying to keep it to the jeans analogy, saying like they're like, oh yeah, I'm proud of the jeans. Let me return them. Like, come on. So like Sam was saying, like that's true. People could change their minds and everything like that, but whatever happened to the death do us part? Whatever happened to you sign a contract, since we're talking about legal stuff, and if you breach the contract, there's consequences. Of course, there should be outs.
There are consequences.
But what I'm saying, there should be some limits, and with no fault.
So let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question, Lee. Based on what you're talking, when you're talking about contracts, let's talk about partnerships and a merger and acquisition, right? So you have two institutions, two businesses. They merge and acquire one another. That's like a relationship, right? And then when those two businesses don't work anymore, guess what they do?
Well,
what do they do? Answer the question. Answer the question first. What do they do?
Okay.
They part ways.
They dissolve.
Yeah, they dissolve.
So what they do is they also, the part of that contract has an out for them to be able to dissolve.
But you also can't say, I don't like you anymore. Like, you gotta honor the agreement. You gotta honor the contract. That's the thing. You just
okay. But what I'm saying is, what if you're honoring the contract and it's still not working? You're not growing as a business. Let's talk about it in terms of business. If you're one corporation and she's another corporation, and you guys merge and do a partnership or whatever, and you both are upholding your sides of the contract, but the goal is not being attained. Money matters. So if it doesn't make dollars, it's not making sense. So if you guys are two different corporations and you guys acquire one another, you merge, so that do a merger and acquisition so that you guys become one, right? And you're both upholding your ends of the bargain, and it's not working and you're not making the money, you dissolve. And that is what no fault divorce looks like.
But Sam, like, usually the contract will state the dissolution process, or if it doesn't, there will be some state rules under like the no fault situation, and the logic behind it, there really isn't any type of process for it. I get it. Like, I think the logic behind it, Sam.
Divorce.
No, what I'm saying is the logic behind it was like, okay, maybe some people don't really want to say, and they just want to do a mutual thing. Like, hey, I don't want to make this person look bad publicly. I don't really want to state some of the wrongdoings. So I get it, but now I feel like it's being abused.
That does happen, but also what happens
That's
is
the
two
issue
people
with it.
will
I feel
say
like it
two
can't be
people
again.
are honest with themselves and with each other about the status of their relationship, and they say, you know what, I love you, I care about you, but this is not working. It's unhealthy for me. It's unhealthy for you. We need to go ahead and part ways. That is no fault. That is a no fault divorce. And I don't think that people should be, I don't think that the government should be involved in that, especially when children are involved. Because then at that point, you're putting the mental health of children at stake, especially if people are like, listen, this is not working. It's making the children miserable. And if it's making the children miserable, we have got to find a better way to be able to parent. Because at the end of the day, when you have children, they become the priority. You
So,
see
so
what I'm
Sam,
saying?
that makes me think of a question. Since you said the government, I guess this could go to you too. E. So, do you think we should bring back like common law marriages or marriages outside the court? Since you said you don't feel like the government should be involved and that they should be honored legally,
Um, I'm
because
not
the common
against,
law marriages are kind
I'm not against
of
common
thing.
marriages. I'm not. Because I do believe that people shouldn't necessarily be required to have to go through a ceremonious thing to have a contract. I mean to be married. All contracts are not ceremonious. You see what I'm saying? Like sometimes when people get married, they go to the courthouse, they sign their paper, they don't get dressed up, they don't call nobody, they just go do the things that they gotta do and just keep it moving. Everybody doesn't have a big wedding and all this other kind of stuff. Everything and when you that's what it looks like for an unceremonious wedding. When you're talking about an unceremonious contract, it's not we all got to go to the lawyer's office and sign the paper and pop champagne when the deal is done. Sometimes it's I seen a sign outside. I saw what was going on. They said, "Hey, if I do X, I'm gonna get Y. So I'm gonna go ahead and go do X so I can get Y." It's not no big to do about it. Like, you know what I mean? And if it doesn't work, then you got to do what you got to do. But at the end of the day, everything doesn't have to be ceremonious. Now, to that point, Malik, I do agree with you and E as it relates to people shouldn't just be getting married for the sake of having a wedding. Like that's ridiculous. Right? People shouldn't be just so quick to hop into marriage just because, oh, I want to be married. You should definitely try to make sure that when you are getting married, you're getting married for the right reasons to the person that, you believe that you're gonna be with forever. I mean, nobody should be getting married with the thought of divorce in their head. I just don't think that's never going to work. If you think that you're going to get a divorce when you get married, you probably shouldn't get married. Now, granted,
Right.
divorce is an option, but you know, I just don't think the government should be heavily involved in all that. You're like, yeah, you sign a legal contract saying that you're married, and yeah, you sign a legal contract saying that you're getting a divorce. I do believe that certain measures should be taken in order to mitigate the divorce rate, such as maybe before you get married, you go to individual counseling and marital counseling for a certain period of time prior to getting married. Maybe, you make sure this is what you want before you get married, as opposed to just jumping in it to appease other people. I do believe that those things need to be evaluated, but I don't think that, getting rid of people's ability to grow apart is is an effective way to minimize that, because all people gonna do is just go check out. If you got two people that are amicable and they're like, all right, we need to get this divorce, we can't do no fault, all right, boom, so why don't we do this? They'll come up with something else to buck the system. So it's just pointless to do that, to get rid of it.
Yeah. I was gonna get. I guess it kind of goes into my solutions a bit. I was gonna say like maybe we could get a little bit of a modified situation where, um, if you want to do a no fault divorce, like you probably maybe you have some sort of limits in terms of your alimony or the type of other spousal support or child support situations. Like if you don't give any valid reasons of any wrongdoing, and you just like maybe I can do better, because those situations do happen. There's testimonies of people saying, "Hey, I think I can get a better partner," or "It was nothing wrong. I just felt like I could do better." So in those type of niche specific situations, I think there should be something to like that people can do, or some sort of like limits or restrictions that should be put in place in order to prevent those people from being able to just have an out and still get like some sort of payment or alimony or whatever or spousal support. So that's what I was going to say as terms of solutions. Um, Maybe some sort of hybrid because yeah, I think Sam, you do make a point. Like I think the logic behind no fault was like the happiness factor. The if something was wrong, I don't want to really shame my partner. I just want to be able to be done with it. I don't want to really shame them. I still have love for them, but I just want to be out of this situation. But I don't really want to state publicly or on record what's really going on in my private life. So I think that was the logic behind no fault divorce, but I think it just needs that little bit of tweaking and modification because I feel like people are abusing it a little too much. You wanted to say something?
Yeah, absolutely. So
I don't take too
within
much.
closing, I think that I agree with you guys are saying that no fault definitely had that shield of being able to keep private issues private, and I think that even now they'll probably have some type of catch all within that where it might not be considered just a no fault, but they'll have some type of term that's in there where it doesn't necessarily have to expose the affairs or things
Mhm.
within not necessarily affair, but whatever details of that marriage and why it may have been dissolved, or divorced rather. And then I think also though the biggest thing that I wanted to kind of talk to because like you said, Sam, like people can grow apart, but I think the thing is that it's even harder to grow together, right? Like, and I think that's where it's like we're really trying to push towards ultimately when we have these discussions is how can we try to figure out even when it feels like I'm at my ends and whatever, like how do I get to that, because I feel like when you look at those 20, 30, 40 year more marriages, I'm sure it had to be moments where it was like I'm at my wits end with you right now. But like, and I kept thinking this when you said it the first time, like, but I'm like, okay, take a nap and wake up and we gonna figure it all out. Like you can be really mad at me, but like understand that this we said this was what it was gonna be. And so, you know what I'm saying? We gonna stand on that. So I want you to understand that it's not coming from a malicious place, and it's not coming from, you know what I'm saying, a mean or a heart or anything like that. I get it might not be the best situation, but understand that I want to be here with you and I want to figure this thing out. And I think if we have that type of love for each other, then there shouldn't be no reasons for us to have those default no fault marriages. And with that being said, we can go ahead and jump into our businesses of the month and book of the month as well.
Oh, Sam, did you want to say any final last words?
Go
Okay.
ahead.
Um, so let's go into the book of the month here. I'm just gonna highlight it on the screen so everybody can see it. One moment here. But the black business is called Healthy Dolls, HealthyRootDolls.com. So it's a black business where it's catering to um, the young black girls or just girls who have kinky curly hair so they can love their hair. Because the founder found that like there was a study where about 60% of the young black girls didn't like their hair. Only like 4 out of 10 that they polled. I think it was a survey of hundreds of thousands of girls with curly hair, I guess black or other ethnicities as well. They didn't really like their hair, so they're trying to promote that hair as beautiful, as a different option of beauty, trying to change the image. So the CEO, the owner, is doing really good work as far as that goes, and that's why I wanted to highlight that business. So you can check out healthyrootdolls.com if you want to support Shop Any Dolls for your daughters or girls that are interested in dolls, or if you just want to give them a different image um, as well. So, and next is the book of the month. The book of the month is called Leaders Eat Last by Simon Sinek. And it's a really good book about leadership. I think it's really a good book. I'm going to start reading it this month. So that's on my list. I advise other people to pick it up if you're interested in leadership, delegation, and stuff like that, duty as well. So once again, it's called Leaders Eat Last. And let me go with the motivational minute here. Pull up a motivational minute for you guys. 1 second, it's on my phone. Just had that thing. Just here. All right, so motivational minute here is take your victories wherever they may be, cherish them, use them, but don't settle for them. So this quote spoke to me because sometimes you got to take your wins and actually honor yourself, honor others, celebrate life, but don't stay too stagnant, right? You want to always strive for greatness, always strive for progress. So that's why I wanted to um, highlight that quote. Really spoke to me, so I wanted to share that with you guys today as well. So, y'all guys have anything else y'all want to say before we close out?
Conversation. Want to say everybody, you guys can catch me at that guy 2104 on Instagram or CP_EV. Love y'all, and we'll catch y'all next week.
Yeah, anything, Sam? You want to say yours?
I want to thank each and every one of you guys for tapping in, both here and on the Tagged app. We appreciate y'all every week for making sure y'all staying loyal and coming through and checking on us and listening to what we have to say. We definitely appreciate y'all and love y'all for that. Also, to make sure y'all check in with us every Wednesday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on the Tagged app, and also right over here on YouTube Live. Our episodes on YouTube are posted post episodes, so as soon as we're done, that thing gets put up there. Also, please make sure you like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Tell a friend to tell a friend, all that good stuff. If ever you want to be on the show, please feel free to go ahead and hit us up. You can DM us, you can email us, you can do whatever. Let us know that you want to be on the show. If there are any topics that you want to talk about, please feel free to let us know what they are. We're more than happy to discuss them and potentially talk about them. We do like company, we like, participation. So we are looking forward to any kind of input that you guys have. Now, if you want to follow me, you can follow me on Instagram at Samantha Renee 77. I'm sorry, Samantha Renee 77_ESQ or Samantha ESQ_counterpoise.
Yeah, if you guys want to catch me and follow me, you can follow me at Malik M. Foster on all my social media handles, and my counterpoise Instagram, you can follow me at Malik_counterpoise. So thank you guys for tuning in today. We really appreciate it. We had a good discussion, a nice banner back and forth. Very important issue today, and make sure you like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, because having these discussions, the dialogue is very important to advancing the culture. So thank you guys, and we'll catch y'all guys on the next one. Peace.